Do, 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 do. What's up, guys? Hey, guys. Hey, KC Angel. What's up, Joshua? Hey, Bigfoot. What's up, Dan? Nice of you to join. Hey, Nikki. Glad you could join. What's up, Losh? Happy 4th of July, guys. Happy birthday to the best country in the world. And fuck Canada. What do they think they're doing with their polite people and free healthcare? What's up, Wing Chun? Nice of you to join. Hey, Radish. What is up? This not Liam? XD? Yeah, USA. Man, my neighborhood is just like gunshots galore today. Gunshots just going off all over my neighborhood. What's up, Cheddar Knight? How's it going? Nice of you to join. Let's just get started. Hey, Peter. All right. 6:04. Let's see how fast we can do this. All right, good start. Good start. Oh, very good start. XE X Shrex Sreer. No. It's gonna be Sixer. Stern. Stir. Steer. No, there's no T. Sneer. Okay, not sneer. There are two E's. Sever. Okay, it could be sever. It could be sewer. What else can it be? Sever, sewer. Sayer? No. Caesar, Sexer, Secker. Let's do sever. Okay. 1 minute. Try queer? No. Sorry, you're a Canadian? What are you doing here? This is our day. You shouldn't be on the internet. This is America's day. So Wing Chun, you kind of buzz? Awesome. I am not Japanese. Okay, so we're doing... Let's do this. Europe geography test. All right. Last time, what did we get last time? We had like 80 something, right? Wait, no. Did we get up to 90? 90 something? Did we get 92%? Happy Freedom Day, yes. 91%? Okay, we're getting 100% this time. 100%. I think this is Latvia, right? So this must be Lithuania? Oh no. Oh, this is Latvia. What is this? Fuck. Wait, Latvia, Moldova. Monaco is here, I think. So Vatican is here. North Macedonia, Portugal, Greece, Spain, Iceland, Malta. Wait, is this Malta? Oh no, is this? Okay, Netherlands. Kosovo is this one, I think. Okay. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. Sweden. I think this is Albania? No. Oof. Ah, Bulgaria. Foiled again. Wait, where's Albania? All right. We can recover from that. Slovakia is. What is this? This is Latvia. I think it starts with an L. Slovakia. This is Czech, so this must be Slovakia or this. Okay. Cyprus. Liechtenstein. Croatia is the weird looking one. Italy. Ukraine. Russia. Serbia. Belarus. Bulgaria. Poland. Denmark. Slovenia. Here. No! Fuck! No! France, Montenegro. Romania, Norway. Okay, this is this. Oh, Estonia. Okay. Germany, Finland, Switzerland, Czech, UK, Ireland, Austria, Belgium, Hungary. Oh no, we did worst. We did worst. We had 91 last time? Okay. Right, one more time, 100%, guys. 100%. Slovenia. Where is that again? This one. Ah, Slovakia. No. Okay. Vatican. Wait, 100%, guys. 100%. 100%. Croatia. Finland. Bosnia. Italy. Malta. I forgot, you can't miss one if you want 100%. All right, choose carefully. Hungary is this one then, right? It has to be. Okay. Sweden. Latvia. Monaco. Germany. Greece. North Macedonia. Slovenia. Is this one right? The one that I keep missing. Okay. Moldova. Czech is here. Russia is here. Spain. Norway. Belgium. Luxembourg. Ooh, Albania. It's you! Okay. Portugal. UK. Austria. If this is Hungary, this must be Austria. Denmark. Liechtenstein. 100%. 100%. Oh no. Where's Serbia? Here. Okay. France. Cyprus. Kosovo. Belarus. Ireland. Oh, are we gonna get it? Montenegro. Bulgaria. Oh, so close. Where's Lithuania? Is it this one or is it this one? Oh, so close. So close. Oh, God. It all depends on this one. Wait, is it this one? No, this is something else. Ah. 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 It's this one, right? Wait, this is Latvia. What is this? Estonia. Okay. So it's either this one or this one. It must be this one. Oh. Okay. Okay. I think we got it. We got it. Romania, Netherlands, Switzerland, Poland, Estonia. Did you see that? On 4th of July. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Next week. So what did we do? We did Asia. We did North America. We did Europe. So next week is going to be South America. We shall prevail. Ah. You just learned where Delaware was last week. Alright. Next week is South America. Alright, shall we get started? Okay. Oh wait. Food, yeah. Do Africa. Okay, Africa is the final boss, okay? After South America is gonna be Africa. I don't know how many weeks we're gonna take to do that. Alright, I have this today to eat. It's peach gummies. Let's see how good it tastes. Okay. Oh. They're in the shape of a heart or a peach. Oh, very peachy. Oh my god. Pretty good. A bit sour. Oh, and has a little gooey inside, a gooey filling. It's pretty good. I'm gonna say a 7 out of 10. I conquered Europe during Freedom Day. Hell yeah. Europe down, South America to go. We're taking over. Ah, 7 out of 10. All right. So what happened last week in our story? So last week, our hero Xiaofeng is keeping Aju alive, okay, by channeling his chi energy into her. By now, word has already spread that Xiaofeng is a really bad dude. The world thinks he's really bad because they think he killed his adoptive parents and his master. All right, so word has already spread. Everyone in the world hates Xiaofeng. Xiaofeng hears of a meeting of heroes. So it looks like a bunch of people will gather at this spot to decide what they will do with Xiaofeng, how to deal with him, right? And the meeting, he finds out that the meeting is hosted by this guy called the Divine Dr. Sui. And the special thing about this Divine Doctor is that they say he can cure any disease. Or he's a really good doctor. So Xiaofeng, remember, he's keeping Aju alive but like he's not curing her, right? He's just constantly injecting his chi into her to keep her alive. So yeah, the moment he stops doing that for like a couple hours, then she'll die. So he decides to go straight to the wolf's den, right? He goes straight to the meeting, and he brings Aju with him, and he asks this divine Dr. Sui to cure her, right? So he goes straight into this meeting with a bunch of like hundreds of martial arts people around him. So he tells this doctor to cure her. The doctor refuses because he hates Xiao Feng. Now the whole time he's talking, there's been this heckler in the crowd, like randomly making fun of people. So Xiao Feng calls this man out, and the man walks out from the crowd, and that's where we ended. All right, so let's continue. All right, so this heckler, chapter 19, part 2. A man stumbled out from the crowd as if he was drunk. He was wearing a green robe, and his face was deathly gray. Nobody recognized him. Ah! Master Tan suddenly shouted, "That's Tan Qing, the soul-chasing Cain. That's right. He's overflowing evil, Duan Yanqing's disciple." So if you remember, Duan Yanqing is they called it the number one greatest evil, right? He's the guy, he's super powerful. He's the head of the group of 4 evils. The beggar clan members, upon hearing that he's Duan Yanqing's disciple, began cursing at him furiously. Turned out that soon after the Western Xia martial arts masters were captured using their own gentle breeze of sadness, Duan Yanqing arrived. Nobody within the beggar's clan was able to stand up to him, as he cured those Western Xia kung fu masters using an extremely bad-smelling antidote and turned them towards the beggar's clan, causing the clan to take on huge losses. Everyone in the clan hates and fear Duan Yanqing, knowing that without Xiao Feng, there's nobody in the clan that could stand up to this world's evilest man in the future. Yeah, so he's the world's most evil man, or that's his title. Tan Qing's face was contorted almost beyond recognition, as if he was in great pain. His hands kept on grasping his chest as a voice came emanating from within his body. I don't owe you anything, and you not me. Why did you have to do that? His voice was squeaky and sharp. Oh, squeaky? But was staggered as if he couldn't catch his breath, but his lips did not move at all, to the amazement to most everyone present. A few of the people present knew that he was using a skill to talk out of his stomach, which, when used in conjunction with a high level of inner strength, could be used as a depressant, which would confuse and even kill whoever hears him. But when up against a person with stronger inner force, this skill would not only not work, but would backfire and hurt the practitioner. "You are Duan Yanqing's disciple?" Divine Dr. Sui angrily shouted at him. "This is a gathering of heroes. Only the heroes of the world are allowed. How did such a low-life scum like you get in?" "Gathering of heroes, my ass," a voice suddenly said. "Looks more like a gathering of zeros to me." Oh, good one. When he said the first word, he was still far away. on top of the tall walls outside. But by the time he said the word me, he had arrived with his voice. Jumping off of the tall wall, one could see that he was unusually tall and incredibly fast. The people stationed on the roof tried to stop him by throwing their swords or hitting him through the air with their palm strikes, but all for naught, as they were too slow, and he was able to dodge out of the way. Quite a number of people in the hall recognized that he was extreme evil Yun Jong-he. With a flick of his body, Yun Jong-he had arrived inside of the hall. Grabbing a hold of Tan Qing, he shot directly towards the divine Dr. Sui. Fearing that he would kill the doctor, everyone in the hall immediately rushed up to protect him. But Yun Jong-he had expected this and played a trick on them, feigning attack so as to retreat. Seeing everyone rush up to protect the divine Dr. Sui, he immediately jumped back and hopped onto the wall again. There's plenty of martial arts masters in the room, and those whose kung fu are better than Yun Jong-he. And those whose kung fu are better than Yun Jong-he number in the 40s, if not the 50s. Oh, so there must be like hundreds of people in this place. But because he had grabbed the initiative and caught everyone off guard, plus his superior lightness kung fu, nobody was able to catch up to him once he had hopped onto the wall. Several people reached into their shirts for projectiles, and those people on the roof tried to stop him again, but all looked too late. "Stay here!" Xiao Feng shouted and struck out a palm strike through the air. The force of the strike was like a formless blade flying through the air and hit Yun Jong-he squarely in his back. Yun Jong-he let out a suppressed moan as he fell flatly onto the ground, blood spilling out of his mouth like a fountain. Tan Qing was still standing, though, just that he would stumble left a bit and then jump to the right, all the while humming a little tune. Quite a comic scene, only that nobody was laughing. Everyone was shocked by the horror that was playing out in front of their eyes. Divine Dr. Sui knew that even though Yun Jong-he was hurt badly, he could still be saved. But Tan Qing had already lost his soul, and no amount of medicine or miracle cures in this world could save him anymore. Reflecting on how Xiao Feng, with a casual scream and a palm strike, would inflict such incredible damage, he realized that if Xiao Feng wanted to take his life, there probably isn't anyone that could stop him. While he was reflecting, Tan Qing had stopped stumbling around and just stood there. The humming had ceased. The humming had ceased as well, and his eyes were wide open, but he wasn't breathing anymore. Back when Tan Qing had insulted the Beggars Clan, the clan members were furious, but had nobody to take it out on, so they were forced to swallow all of that anger. But now, seeing how Xiao Feng took care of him, all of them cheered on the inside. The more straightforward ones, like Elder Song and Elder Wu, almost let out a shout of praise, but held back, realizing that Xiao Feng was from Khitan. But deep inside every one of their hearts, they thought, if he was our leader, the Beggars Clan would never lose. Otherwise, the going is going to get really tough from here on out. The Beggars Clan would never be returned to its former glories. Yun Jong-he struggled up and stumbled out of the door. He took a couple of steps before throwing up another mouthful of blood. Seeing how badly he was injured, nobody felt like troubling him anymore, as everyone thought. He called this the gathering of zeros, yet none of us could do anything about him. Ironically, it was Xiao Feng who struck and made him pay for such an insult. Honorable brothers, Honorable brothers Yo, I have met up with many friends here today, who after today will be friends no longer. Xiao Feng turned towards the Yo brothers. I could not but feel sad, so I would like to ask you for some wine. Everyone was caught off guard by his request. Let's see what the hell he's going to do here, Yoju thought to himself as he instructed the servants to go fetch some wine. Because this was a planned gathering at Juxian Mansion, there was plenty of wine in stock, and soon the servants came in with flasks of wine and cups to drink as well. These cups are just too small. Could you get something big to drink out of? Xiaofeng replied. Two servants went off and returned with several huge bowls and a newly opened jug of white wine. Man, this guy loves wine. They placed them on the table in front of Xiaofeng and filled one bowl up with wine. Fill them all up, Xiaofeng commanded, and the two servants obeyed. Another my name is Yo situation? Wait, what does that mean? I don't understand. Lifting up one bowl in his hand, Xiaofeng turned towards the crowd. Of the many heroes gathered here today, there are many who are old friends of mine. But since you are suspicious of me, I propose we drink our friendship away. If any friend wishes to take Xiaofeng's life, then come up and have a drink with me. Afterwards, our old friendship will be history. If you kill me, it's not betrayal. If I kill you, it's not cross. Let the heroes of the world be our witness. So it's a last cup of friendship, I guess. A coldness shot through everyone as the hall was completely silent. If I go up and drink with him, he would undoubtedly try a sneak attack on me, each of them thought. That close, how can I block that strike power of his? In this stunned silence, a woman dressed in funeral clothing suddenly walked out. It was Ma Dayuan's widow, Madame Ma. My husband died in your hands. This friendship that you spoke of ended a long time ago, she said in a grave voice as she lifted the bowl up to her lips and took a sip. I cannot drink the entire bowl, but the vengeance of my husband will be like this wine, she said as she slowly poured the wine that was left in the bowl onto the ground. Xiaofeng looked her straight in the face and couldn't help but notice how beautiful and elegant she looked. It was dark that night in the apricot woods, and the firelight was flickering, so he didn't get a chance to get a good look at her. Never could he have guessed that such a formidable woman would look so fragile and delicate. Without a word, he picked up another bowl, drank its entire contents in one breath, and signaled the servant at his side to fill the bowls again. After Madame Ma walked back into the crowd, Elder Shu walked up and, without saying a word, drank an entire bowl of wine, with Xiaofeng doing the same. Dude, is he gonna drink a bowl for each person? There's like hundreds of people here. Then came the scribe elder, after whom the enforcer elder Bai Shijing walked up. Just as he lifted his bowl and was about to drink, Xiaofeng stopped him. Hold on. Brother Qiao, do you have something you want to say? Bai Shijing had always admired Xiaofeng and treated him with the utmost respect, and even now he was still the same, just that now he didn't refer to Xiaofeng as chief anymore. We have been like brothers for so long now. Who could have known that we would end up being enemies? Xiaofeng sighed. Brother Qiao's birth, I had heard rumors about it for a long time, Bai Shijing replied, fighting back tears. Back then, I would not have believed it, even if it meant my life. But now it really is true. If it wasn't because of our country is at war, Bai Shijing, I would rather die than be Brother Qiao's enemy. I understand, Xiaofeng nodded. Soon we will be friends no more and be enemies in battle. But I have a favor to ask. If it doesn't hurt my country, I would give it my all. Xiaofeng smiled and pointed to Ju. All brothers of the Beggar's Clan, if you still feel the slightest beholden to me for what happened in the past, then all I ask of you is to ensure this young miss's safety. Everyone got the sense that it was almost as if he was asking others to take care of his orphan, for after drinking with his friend one by one, he would fight. Being surrounded by so many masters, even if he kills a good number of his foes, it was highly unlikely he was going to survive. Even though everyone in the crowd hates him for being a Khitan and for committing such heinous crimes, They couldn't help but admire the courage in his actions. Bai Shijing had always had a good relationship with Qiao Feng, and upon hearing what is equivalent to his last wishes, he had to reply, "Don't worry, Brother Qiao. Bai Shijing, I would personally beg Divine Dr. Sui to treat her. If anything should happen to Miss Wan, then I would kill myself so as to repent for Brother Qiao." He brought the bowl to his lips and drank the strong wine down in one breath. Qiao Feng did the same. Elder Song, Elder Xi, and the rest of the Beggars clan all came up and drank the wine with him. After everyone in the Beggars clan finished, the heroes and masters from other sects all walked up and drank. The longer this spectacle went on, the more amazed everyone became. Qiao Feng had already drank at least 40 or 50 bowls of wine by now. The huge jug of strong wine had long since been killed, and the servants had to go fetch another jug. But Xiao Feng still looked sober and alert, other than the fact his belly was protruding. His belly was protruding a bit. There was no sign of anything different about him. Forget the fight. At this rate, he would drink to death, everyone thought. But Xiao Feng was one of those people who grew more alert the more he drinks. But Xiao Feng was one of those people who grew more alert the more he drank. These last couple of days, all the frustrations from the false accusations had been bottled up inside him. Finally, he just decided to let it all out and drink to satisfaction before ending it all with a fight. After even Bao Qianling and fast-saber Qi Liu had drank with him, Xiang Wanghai walked up and picked up a bowl. "Hey you! I'm going to drink a bowl with you," he said in a rude tone. Feeling the effects of the wine, Qiao Feng looked at him out of the corner of his eye and replied, "I'm drinking this friendship-ending drink with the heroes of the world to say that our friendships are a thing of the past. What have you done to deserve this drink? What friendship did I have with you?" Oh, that was a burn. Not waiting for an answer, Qiao Feng took a step forwards and grabbed his chest with his right hand. With a simple wave of his arm, Qiao Feng threw him out of the hall. Xiang Wanghai hit the marble walls outside with a loud bang and instantly fainted. At this, the hall descended into chaos. Qiao Feng jumped out of the hall and into the yard before turning around to face the crowd. "Who wants to come out here and fight to the death first?" he shouted at the top of his lungs. He's gonna duel everyone? He can't win, right? He can't possibly win. Seeing him standing there in all his glory, nobody dared to run forth and challenge him. "If you guys aren't going to start this off, then I'm going to," Qiao Feng shouted. Bang, bang! 2 men were already hit by his palm through the air and fell to the ground. Going along with his own momentum, he charged back into the hall, and with the flurry of fists and kicks mixed with palms and elbows, instantly took down several other fighters. "Everyone, back up against the wall! Don't get into a melee!" Yoji shouted. There were more than 300 fighters within the hall. If they all charged up at once, there was no way for Qiao Feng to fend them off, no matter how good he was. It was just that when everyone was stuck together, pushing against one another, only 5 or 6 men was at Qiao Feng's side and could truly fight him. And even then, with all the weapons waving around, a lot of people were actually trying to protect themselves instead of attacking. But with Yoji's shout, the middle of the hall immediately emptied. "Let's see how great the Yo brothers of Juxian Mansion are," Qiao Feng shouted as he lifted his left palm and sent a huge wine jug flying towards Yoji's face. Yoji put up both hands and was able to conjure up some inner force to bat the jug away. But unexpectedly, Qiao Feng followed up with a right fist, which with a loud bang smashed the wine jug into a million pieces in midair. The sharp, broken pieces and shards of the jug, pushed by the force of Qiao Feng's palm, were like hundreds of metal darts or daggers. 3 pieces hit Yoji in the face, which was soon covered in blood. Several people at his sides were hit as well. The shouting and cursing of pain and warnings were deafening. Daddy, Daddy! Suddenly, a boy's cry could be heard coming from a corner of the hall. Yoji recognized the voice as that of his only son, Yodanju's. Despite his predicament, he still found the time to look over and see that Yodanji's left cheek was covered in blood, having been hit by one of the pieces of the jug. What are you doing here? Get back inside! Yoji yelled. Yes, sir! Yodanju replied and snuck back behind a column, but still stuck out his head to watch the fight. Xiaofeng kicked with his left foot, and another jug flew off. Just as he was about to add another palm strike to smash it, he suddenly felt a soft and gentle palm force approaching him from behind. Even though the force of this strike was gentle and soft, it was very powerful and backed up with quite a strong inner force. Knowing that it had come from a strong foe, Xiaofeng did not dare to wait any longer, and immediately returned a palm strike back in response. The two forces met, and both sides were slightly taken aback and needed a moment to collect themselves. When Xiaofeng took a good look at who his foe was, he saw a weird-looking, ugly man. It was none other than Chao Qiansun. He has a tremendous inner force. Got to be careful with him, Xiaofeng told himself as he drew in another breath and unleashed a second mountain-splitting palm strike out at him. Knowing that he could not stand up to this strike with just one palm, Chao Qiansun brought up both of his palms in an effort to block the incoming strike. Don't you want to live anymore? A female voice came from the side as he was suddenly pulled over to the side and just avoided Xiaofeng's strike. But the force of the Xiaofeng's palm still came rolling in, hitting the three men behind Chao Qiansun head on and sent them flying into the wall, kicking up a huge amount of dust and knocking loose a couple of pieces of the wall. Turning around, Chao Qiansun saw that it was Grandma Tan who had pulled him away. He was overjoyed. Xiao Chuan, you saved me! I'll attack his left and you attack his right, Grandma Tan said. Just as Chao Qiansun nodded his head and said, okay, a short and skinny old man charged towards Xiaofeng. It was Grandpa Tan. Even though he had quite a small build, his kung fu was quite formidable. As his left palm struck out, his right palm immediately followed, at which he pulled back his left hand and struck out with it again. 3 palm strikes in a row, just like 3 consecutive waves, one after another, each building on the other until it was released all at once, with the force 3 times more powerful than his normal palm strike. Wonderful! 3 rolling waves of the Yangtze! Xiaofeng shouted as he waved out his left palm. The two forces collided violently, pushing many spectators on the side away. At this time, Chao Qiansun and Grandma Tan's attacks arrived as well. They were soon followed by the Beggars Clans' Elder Shu, Elder Cheng, and many other elders joined the fray. Brother Xiao, Khitan is the sworn nemesis of our great song. We are only doing this for our country. Forgive us, Scribe Elder shouted. We have already drank our friendship away. Why be so polite? On guard, Xiaofeng replied with a laugh as he stuck his left foot out at him. Despite what he said, because of what they went through together, not only could he not bring himself to take away the lives of his beggar clan brothers, he did not want to make them look bad in front of the others. So as he stuck his foot halfway out, he suddenly switched directions. Fast Saber Qi Liu let out an unusual yelp and took off. He didn't jump, but was kicked by Xiaofeng in his stomach. He was prepared to slash down with his saber onto Xiaofeng's head, but because his body took off, this slash went astray. With a loud thud, his saber came down upon one of the support beams on the ceiling. With the force he put onto the chop, the cut was several centimeters deep, and his saber had actually got stuck within the cut. This particular saber was the prized weapon of Fast Saber Qi Liu. It was the weapon that made him famous. So facing such a formidable foe, he could not bring himself to let go of the saber as he grasped the handle of the saber tightly as he could with his right hand. In doing this, he doomed himself to hang in the air. It was quite an unusual situation, but everyone down in the hall was staring death in the face, and nobody dared to even spare a moment to even take a look at him, much less laugh at his predicament. Ever since he joined the martial world, Qiao Feng had never lost a single fight of his hundreds of battles. Not only that, even though he had fought against many a martial arts master, he had never been in such danger. He had never been in much danger. By now, the effects of the wine, with the help of his huge exertion of inner force, had really taken hold. As his palms danced around the air, none of the masters present was able to get close to him. Despite his astonishing medical skills, Divine Dr. Sui's kung fu left something to be desired. He was a true genius when it came to medicine. It was as if he knew it all without even being taught. Even so, he had been interested in martial arts as a small kid, and his master was an even more amazing and knowledgeable master. However, a number of years ago, Divine Dr. Sui and all 7 of his martial brothers were kicked out by his master at the same time. Not willing to find another master, he instead took to another route, exchanging his medical services with kung fu. Picking up a move here, a skill there. Rarely would you find a person with more knowledge of kung fu as he. But unfortunately, the broadness of his knowledge was also his downfall. In essence, he bit off more than he could chew, and never really mastered any single kung fu. But because of his renowned medicinal skills, whenever he asked others about kung fu advice, and such, people not really being serious would always add a couple of words of praise along with a critique so as to get on his good side. So he couldn't help but be a little bit arrogant, figuring that he had mastered most of all the martial arts in the world. But watching this fight, he realized that the speed with which Qiao Feng's strikes and the force with which the strikes landed were beyond anything he could have imagined. His face turned deathly pale, and his heart was just about to leap out of his throat. He was not even able to utter a sound, much less join the fight. Flattening himself against the wall, he wanted to quietly sneak out for the life of him, but he could not bring himself to do it. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he saw Xuan standing at his side. He suddenly remembered something and felt terrible about it. I was incredibly rude before. I asked for father's forgiveness. He turned towards Xuan. Xuan's attention was entirely fixated upon Qiao Feng and didn't hear anything the Divine Dr. Sui said at all. Only after he had repeated it twice did Xuan finally snapped out of his trance. How were you rude? I had said that Qiao Feng all by himself snuck into and out of Shaolin last night without a single injury and was still able to kidnap a Shaolin disciple with him. That's rather hard to believe, Divine Dr. Sui replied. What's wrong with that? Well, with such amazing skills, Qiao Feng is indeed practically unmatched in the world. Only now do I realize that, if he wanted to enter Shaolin and to cause trouble, it is almost impossible to stop him. Divine Dr. Sui said in a sincere voice. He meant to be apologetic, but in Xuan'an's ears they sounded caustic. Humph! Divine Dr. Sui, want to see exactly what Shaolin Kung Fu is all about? Xuan replied. Not waiting for an answer, he slowly stepped forward and twirled his sleeves up. Underneath the sleeves, the sound of a fist strike could be heard shooting out. This was one of the 72 supreme skills of Shaolin, Heaven Within the Sleeve, in which even though the sleeves are twirled up in a knot, the force of the fist would still shoot out from the inside. Shaolin monks had always been based strictly to Buddhist teachings to learn and practice martial arts for self-improvement. Even getting angry was forbidden, but much less striking someone. But Shaolin sect had been the leader of martial arts in the world for centuries now. How could it not join the fight? With the fist hidden within the sleeve, this heaven within the sleeve was a very graceful move. The sleeve served as a screen for the force of the fist, so the foe could not see where the fists were coming from, therefore making it easier to catch him off guard. But few people knew that the sleeves contained a huge variety of viciously strong moves. If the foe concentrated solely upon figuring out the moves of the fist, then he would turn the diversion into the real thing and attack with the sleeves. Qiao Feng was watching his attack as two sleeves flew up with the wind, as if they were two huge sails. The force of the attack was truly amazing. "Heaven within the sleeve! Incredible!" Qiao Feng shouted as he, with a swoosh, swatted at the sleeves. The force of Xuan Nan's sleeves were applied over a large area, while Qiao Feng's strikes was concentrated. With a string of loud tearing sounds, the two forces met. Suddenly, the hall seemed to be filled with gray-colored butterflies. Caught by surprise, everyone paused to collect themselves. Turned out that the gray butterflies was actually what used to be Xuan Nan's sleeves. When one turned one's gaze to Xuan Nan, one could see that his incredibly skinny arms were now completely exposed. When those two forces met head-on, how could Xuan Nan's sleeves possibly take that kind of pressure? Thus, they instantaneously torn to shreds. Now that he lost his sleeves naturally lost their heavens. In his fury, his face turned a metallic green color. With a simple palm strike, Qiao Feng was able to defeat the very skill that had made him famous. Not able to stand such humiliation, waving his arms wildly, he charged without abandon. Everyone recognized that what he was using was Founder's Long Fist. It was this fist skill, along with the cane skill, that was used by the founder of the Song dynasty, Song Taiju Jiao Kuangyin, to conquer and unite all of China under the Great Song. None of the emperors since had been as fierce or brave as Song Taiju. These set of Founder's Long Fist and Founder's Cane was the most popular skills in the martial world. Even if one didn't practice it, one was familiar with it. Seeing such a famous Shaolin monk, whose kung fu prowess was world famous, use such a plain, everyday skill surprised everyone. But after he had gone through 3 moves, everyone couldn't help but praise. Shaolin Sex's fame and acclaim is indeed well merited. The same crossing 1,000 kilometers would be so powerful when he uses it. Because of their admiration, none of them seemed to mind how strange Xuan Nan looked without any sleeves. Qiao Feng was surrounded by several scores of people, but as soon as Xuan Nan struck, the others, feeling that they were merely getting in the way, temporarily backed off. They still surrounded him in the middle of several rings so as to not let him escape, but everyone was completely mesmerized by the fight between Xuan Nan and him. Noticing that others have backed off, an idea suddenly popped into Qiao Feng's head. With a loud swoosh, he struck out with his palm, with a charging the formation and killing the general move. Yet another move from the Founder's Long Fist. The move looked completely natural and poised. There was a hint of give within the unyielding force of the strike, as well as a hint of firmness within its softness. The state of perfection in mastery that all kung fu practitioners wished for had been clearly exemplified by this move. Of all the people gathered here in this gathering of heroes, even if their kung fu skills weren't good, they were at least extremely knowledgeable, so everyone knew and understood the essence of the Founder's Long Fist. Upon seeing Qiao Feng's move, quite a number of them could not help but cheer in admiration. Many people immediately regretted the cheer, for it was in praise and support of their sworn enemy. But now that the sound had left their mouth, they couldn't take it back. Qiao Feng followed with a new moon's majesty, which was just as refined. It was hard to tell whether this move was better or worse than his last one. Another cheer went up in the hall as a number of people still couldn't hold it back in, but because several people realized the paradox the cheering created and held back, the cheer this time was quieter than last. Nevertheless, there were still quite a number of ooh and ah uttered in admiration. Everyone had been too involved in battle with Qiao Feng to worry about anything else, but now that they were an outside observer, they finally realized how amazing his kung fu really was. After Qiaofeng and Xuannan exchanged 7 or 8 moves, it had become obvious who was the better. Despite the fact that both were using the same simple fist techniques, every one of Qiaofeng's moves came after Xuannan's move. As soon as Xuannan made a move, Qiaofeng would follow it up. But for some reason, maybe it was his youth, or maybe he was just quicker, every one of Qiaofeng's moves would arrive at his objective before Xuannan. There are only 64 moves in the founder's long fist, but each one of them could effectively counter another. Qiaofeng would recognize his opponent's move before countering with the move that would cancel it. In this situation, how could Xuannan not lose? Everyone present understood the reason behind this, but to be able to move later but arrive faster, especially when facing such a master as Xuannan, had they not witnessed it themselves, none of them could imagine that it was possible. Seeing Xuannan in trouble, Xuanzhu shouted, "You barbaric Khitan dog! How dare you use such despicable methods?" "I'm using our country founder's fist. How dare you call me despicable?" Qiaofeng answered righteously. Everyone immediately understood why he was using Founder's long fist. If he had used other fist styles to defeat the Founder's long fist, then others would not say that it was because of his superior skills, but rather accuse him of humiliating the founder of their country by using the skills of another race or country, which would only add to the hatred towards him. But now that everyone is using Founder's long fist, the only thing that made a difference was each person's skills and nothing else. Seeing that Xuannan was moments away from being in mortal danger, Xuanzhu didn't bother to reply and just simply pointed his finger at Qiaofeng's World Pearl Point and attacked using Shaolin Sex's acclaimed pressure point hitting skill, Tanggutan Buddha Finger. Hearing the sound of his finger slashing through the air, Qiaofeng stepped aside to dodge the move. I have heard of the power of Tanggutan Buddha Finger for a long time, and it really is as powerful as the rumors say. You are using the kung fus of those Tangut barbarians against the martial arts of our founder that I'm using. If you defeat me, then aren't you selling out to those barbarians and bringing shame to our great China? Qiaofeng said. Xuanzhu was quite taken aback by this. Shaolin Sex's founder, Bodhidharma, was indeed a Tangut. Today, everyone was teaming up against Qiaofeng for being of Khitan birth, yet because Shaolin Kung Fu had been established in China for so long that every single sect or style of Kung Fu had at least a little bit of relationship with Shaolin sect, so much so that everyone had forgotten the close relationship Shaolin has with the barbarians. But now, reminded by Qiaofeng's words, everyone remembered. Okay, so Qiaofeng is using the martial arts of the Song China, but apparently this dude is using a Tangut Kung Fu or a Tangut move. Some of the wiser people among the crowd wondered, We treat Bodhidharma with reverence like a divinity, yet why do we hate the Khitan people so much? They are all people of different races than us. These two races are obviously different. The Tangut people do not slaughter us, fellow Chinamen, while the Khitan people are despicable and vicious. But in this sense, it doesn't mean that everyone of a different race is evil. There are good and bad people within them as well. But does that mean that there are some good people within the Khitan? You think? Is that what that means? In reality, with such a huge fight at full swing, there were plenty of brutes who never thought such thoughts. Even though all of the more thoughtful people had thought such thoughts, they didn't have time to dwell over it, only feeling a little bit at the bottom of their hearts that Qiaofeng may not have to be killed, and we may not be as in the right. Fighting 2 against 1, Xuannan and Xuanzhu still had to defend more than they attacked. Frustrated by the fact that whatever he did was always countered by his foe, Xuannan changed his style as soon as Xuanzhu joined him in the fight, switching instead to Shaolin's Arhat fist. So, are you going to use the martial arts of the Tangut? Let's see which is better, your foreign kung fu better, or that of our great song. Xiao Feng coldly snickered as his fists were loudly swung about in the style of the founder's long fist. Alright. Took like 10 readings for the clan to realize this. True. Alright. Give me 5 minutes. We'll take a break. I'll be right back. And we are back. Alright. Back to the fight. Everybody present had a sick feeling in their stomach. They were attacking Xiao Feng because he was a foreigner, yet instead they were using foreign kung fu while he was using the fist of the founder of their country. Who cares about fist style? This man killed his father, his mother, and his master. He deserves to die. Zhao Qiansun suddenly shouted as he charged into the fight, followed closely by Grandpa Tan, Grandma Tan, Elder Shu, Elder Cheng, and scores of others. Every one of them were kung fu masters, and despite the great number of them, the attack was well organized, essentially taking turns one after another attacking Qiao Feng. Fighting them off, Qiao Feng declared, "You say that I am a Khitan, but then Grandpa Qiao Sangkui and Grandma Qiao can't be my father or mother anymore. Forget the fact that they always treated me with great love and care, without the slightest intention of harm, even if I did kill them. How could I be guilty of killing my father and my mother? Father Chuan Ku is my savior and master. If Shaolin sect admits that he's my master, then I would be a Shaolin disciple. How could you gang up on a Shaolin disciple like this?" "Humph. How could you stoop so low as to resort to such sophistry and equivocation?" Xuanju replied. "If it's justified and consistent, then it isn't sophistry or equivocation. If you guys don't regard me as a Shaolin disciple, then don't accuse me of killing my master. As the saying goes, one could always trump up charges if one's out to condemn me. If you guys want to kill me, then just do it like a man. Why bother accusing me of all these inconsistent and deceitful charges?" Even as he was debating, he never stopped fighting, fist hitting Dan Shushan, kick landing on Zhao Qiansun, elbowing a green-clothed man that he didn't see the face of, and palm striking a white-bearded old man that he didn't know the name of. While arguing, he knocked down 4 people in a row. Knowing that these people weren't bad people, he held back with his strikes. Of the 18 or so people that he had knocked down, none had lost their life. As for his brothers in the Beggars clan, he didn't even touch them. When Elder Shu attacked him, he just ducked out of the way. But with so many people at the gathering, as soon as he knocked 10 people down, another 10 people took their place. If this keeps up, I'll eventually die of exhaustion. It's probably the best to find a place to escape first. Qiao Feng figured as he carefully surveyed for an escape route as he fought. Zhao Qiansun was lying on the ground, unable to move, but he was still able to see that Xiao Feng was looking for an escape. "Everyone attack him! Don't let this despicable dog bastard get away!" he shouted. Adrenaline pumping, Qiao Feng could feel his fury gradually taking over. Hearing Zhao Qiansun's words finally sent him over the edge. "This dog bastard is going to start off his killing spree with you," he howled as his palm came screaming down upon Zhao Qiansun. "No!" Xuannan and Xuanju simultaneously shouted as both of them stuck out with their right hand, trying to save Zhao Qiansun's life. Suddenly, a human form appeared in midair as a sickening scream reverberated around the hall. Xuannan and Xuanju's blows landed on the person's chest as Xiao Feng's palm landed squarely in the middle of the back. Caught in the middle of those 3 powerful and violent forces, the person's ribs immediately shattered and internal organs collapsed. Whoa. Blood gushing out of the person's mouth, the body collapsed onto the ground like a pile of mud. Not only was Xuannan and Xuanju shocked, Qiao Feng was caught by surprise as well. Turned out that this person was fast saber Qi Liu. He had been hanging in midair for quite some time now. Rattling back and forth, he was finally able to pry loose his saber and fall. Quite unfortunately, he just happened to fall in between those three strikes. It was as if two gigantic steel slabs came slamming together on him. There was no chance of him surviving. Ah, poor guy. He just fell in the middle of the attack. He just got crushed. Amida Buddha. Xuannan was first to say something. Qiao Feng, have you not sinned enough? I only am half responsible. You two are just as responsible as I for his death. Why are you guys just dumping it all on me? Qiao Feng screamed in fury. Amitofo, Amitofo. Had you not sinned first, would there have been a fight today? Xuannan replied. Oh, all right. Okay, it's all my fault. So what? Qiao Feng screamed back as he finally let his anger take over, which instantly turned him into a wild beast. He grabbed somebody with his right hand, who happened to be Chang Zhen's second son, Chan Chongshan. Snatching his saber with his left hand, he let go of his body and immediately slammed down with his right hand. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. He's going wild, guys. He's going wild. Slammed down with his right hand, caving in the top of Chan Zhongshan's head. The rest of the people gasped in horror and anger. Now that the killing has started, Qiao Feng's fighting became even more desperate and violent, slashing ferociously with the saber in his left hand and switching periodically between the palm and fist with his right. He was not to be stopped. Slowly but surely, the white walls was becoming more and more covered with small droplets of blood as the hall began to fill up with corpses. By now, he did not worry about past friendships anymore, even that of the Beggars clan, not even waiting to make out his foes' faces anymore. His eyes were bloodshot as he killed whoever that he happens to run into. It was like this that Elder Shi died under his saber. Oh no. He's even killing the Beggars clan members. Of the people that were at the gathering, 9 out of 10 of them had killed before. After all, to become known in the martial world required more than just making friends and talking a good show. And those who had not killed before had witnessed just such events many times before. But none of them had ever seen such a violent and horrifying battle as the one that was unfolding in front of their eyes. There was only one foe, but he was like a crazed tiger, a possessed demon, charging back and forth, attacking and chopping left and right indiscriminately. Many a master had stepped up to challenge him, but all were mowed down by his faster, stronger, fiercer, better moves. Nobody present was a coward who was afraid to die, but in front of them was a crazed opponent whose kung fu skills nobody could stand against, as their eyes were filled with images of blood and flesh were flying across the hall, of human heads that were rolling on the floor, and their ears were filled with the desperate and stunned screams of death. Most of them wanted to run away as quickly and as quickly as possible. Was Qiao Feng guilty or wasn't he? They did not care for it anymore. Seeing the situation quickly deteriorate, the brothers Yo each brought up their circular shield with their left hand and a weapon in their right hand. One had a short spear, while the other had a saber. With a whistle, the two of them attacked Qiao Feng from two sides, with the shields protecting their body. Even though Qiao Feng was letting it all out for the fight, he was still completely coherent and not a least bit panicked, as he easily and quickly picked apart every opponent's move, hence why he still hadn't been wounded. Noticing that the Yo brothers were charging in, he immediately chopped down the two men by his side and, trying to grab the initiative, attacked Yoji. Yoji brought his shield up at the last moment. With a loud clang, Qiao Feng's saber bounced back. Upon closer inspection, he noticed that the blade of the saber had curled up, rendering it completely useless. The shields in the Yo brothers' hands were melded using the finest of metals that had been melted and reshaped over hundreds of times. Even priceless swords could not penetrate them, much less that ordinary iron saber that Qiao Feng grabbed out of Chang Jun's son's hands. Immediately after deflecting his foe's attack, Yoji immediately struck the short spear in his right hand from underneath the shield, like a snake striking out of his hole, aiming towards Qiao Feng's stomach. At this precise a moment, there was a cold flash as the shield that was in Yoji's hand came flying at Qiao Feng's torso. With one glance, Qiao Feng could tell that the edges of the shield were incredibly sharp, like those of an axe. If it hit him, it would surely slice him in two. A truly vicious move. Excellent, Qiao Feng shouted as he threw down the saber in his hand and punched out with his left fist. With a tremendous bang, his fist landed squarely in the middle of Yoji's shield. He then shot out his right fist, which was followed by an equally deafening bang, as it hit Yoju's shield directly at its center. The Yo brothers felt half their bodies go numb, as Qiao Feng's overwhelming power shook them to their very core. Stars appeared in their eyes, as they, losing all their strength in their arms, dropped their shields and weapons onto the floor. The place where the base of their thumb and index finger came together, burst and split open, covering their hands in blood. Great, thanks for lending me 2 weapons, Qiao Feng chuckled. He bent down, picked up the shields, and gave each a twirl. The shields were truly amazing devices that could be used to attack or defend. Several dying screams went up as 5 people fell by the shields. The Yo brothers' faces looked shamed and defeated. Man, he's just going mad. Brother, remember what Master said? Shield lives, we live. Shield dies, we die, Yoji shouted. After such humiliation, how could us brothers have any face left to live in this world? Yoju replied. With a slight nod towards each other, both of them picked up their weapons and stabbed them into their hearts, dying instantly. Well, that was unnecessary. Dying from humiliation. Dying from humiliation. No! Everyone shouted in dismay, but with Qiao Feng waving his shields around as he was, who had enough courage to venture to within 10 meters of him to drag the bodies out? Who could have ventured within 10 meters of him? The screams of a young man could be heard above the chaos. Daddy! Daddy! That was of Yo Ju's son, Yo Danzhi. Qiao Feng paused in shock, never expecting that the Yo brothers, the masters of the Juxian mansion, would commit suicide. His back felt cold as he suddenly sobered up a great deal. Why did you do that, brothers Yo? Here, let me return these shields back to you, Qiao Feng said with regret, as he bent down and laid the shields at the Yo brothers' side. He hadn't quite straightened himself back up yet, when a girl suddenly shouted, Watch out! Qiao Feng immediately sidestepped to the left, letting a green flash shoot by as a sword barely missed him. Had it not been for Aju's timely warning, even though he probably would not have been hit, he would have been at a very disadvantageous position. Venture definition? Oh, who could have ventured? What? Who could have gone within 10 meters of him, right? It means to go somewhere, I guess. To go forth. Yeah, so who could have gone within 10 meters of him? Dare to do something or go somewhere that may be dangerous or unpleasant. The perpetrator of the sneak attack was Grandpa Tan, who, as soon as he missed, dashed away to safety. As everyone was concentrated on fighting Qiao Feng, Aju curled up in a corner as she became weaker and weaker. Seeing everyone ganging up on Qiao Feng, remembering that it was because he was trying to save her that he put himself into such great danger, she could not but be greatly moved and worried. That's not right. Venture is to go. To go somewhere, right? No? Look, similar. Travel, journey, go, move, proceed, progress, set out. Set forth, rove, wander, stray. I didn't mention any intention. I think you. No, I think that's too much, guys. Just to venture somewhere? That means to go somewhere, right? To do something, even so, the risks is very important in this definition you're saying? I don't know. I think I get that definition. I think that's a point for me. Part of the definition, yes. Oh, okay. Okay. How about half? They use it as a verb. All right, I get half a point. Okay. So if you get another half a point on me, that's one song. But half a point is not a song. We are strict parents. I didn't define it in the correct context. All right, that's half a point. Okay. Because it's so strict. So strict. Where were we? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Seeing everyone ganging up on Xiao Feng. Wait, blah, blah, blah. She could not but be greatly moved and worried, noticing Grandpa Tan sneaking up from behind Xiao Feng. As he laid down the shield, she had to call out and warn him. Oh, is that it, you little devil, you? Grandma Tan was furious. We don't bother you, so you go and help him? With a flash, her palm came crashing down at the top of Aju's head. Yo, not cool. Just as her palm was about to hit Aju, Xiao Feng arrived. Grabbing Grandma Tan by her collar from behind, he forcefully pulled Grandma Tan to stop and tossed her aside, sending her crashing into a priceless carved pear wood chair. Even though she was not hit, Aju was severely frightened, and her body just gave out. The life force in her body is about to be completely drained, Xiao Feng thought to himself. But at this moment, how could I help her? Her life force is about to run out. Are you going to prolong her life with your own inner force? Divine Dr. Shui coldly spoke out. If she stops breathing, then even a real divine goddesses couldn't bring her back to life. Xiao Feng was in a bind. He knew what Divine Dr. Shui said was the truth, but if he helped Aju, the people around him would immediately bear down upon him. Some of the people lost sons, some lost friends, so none of them would be the least bit hesitant at finishing him off. But was he supposed to just watch her die and do nothing? He had taken such a risk to get her here to Gathering Virtue Mansion, and it would be a shame if it was all for naught if she died because she ran out of life force before the divine Dr. Shui could treat her. However, if he was going to keep her alive by transferring his inner force into her, it would be the equivalent of exchanging his own life for hers. For all she was, Aju was still just merely a maid that he met in his travels. He had no real feelings towards her, just that helping people out and saving people were something that he'd normally do, but to exchange his life for hers was too much to ask. She's not a relative of mine, and I am not beholden to her at all. I had tried my best to get to here and done all that I could. I got to get out of here as soon as possible. Whether or not divine Dr. Shui could save her would be just depend on fate and her luck, Xiao Feng thought. So he picked the two shields up from the floor and continuously performed rock-spreading wings several times, creating two rings of white light around him that rolled towards the exit as he charged. Despite the numerical advantage, Qiao Feng's moves were too vicious, and those two shields too great of weapons, so nobody was able to get within several meters of Qiao Feng's body to stop him. Having made it to the exit in several steps, Qiao Feng had just stepped over the threshold with his left foot. He suddenly heard a raspy old man shout defiantly, "Kill the girl first, then let's worry about getting him for revenge." It was iron-faced Judge Chang Zheng that said that. His eldest son, Chan Boshan, immediately responded with a yes and lifted up his saber in preparation to bring it down upon Aju's head. In the heat of the moment, Qiao Feng didn't have to think and just threw the shield in his left hand out. It whirled violently as it exploded through the air. Foray? Uh-oh. Foray definition. A foray. I think like you foray into something, right? You foray into something. That means you journey into something. A foray is like a journey. It appeared about half an hour ago. Why you gotta go back like half an hour to find a word? A foray is like a journey, right? I think so. A journey somewhere. Okay, let's do that. A sudden attack or incursion into enemy territory, especially an attempt to become involved in a new activity. This could be, you can kind of argue this. That's a journey. Wait, do I get this? An incursion. Okay. I said journey. I didn't say an attack. Okay. I didn't say it was a military journey. But it kind of makes sense. Crap. You didn't go back. You just wanted to forget. Half a point. Oh no, that makes a full point. That's one song. Okay, fine. Good job, chat. Good job. All right. Yeah, half and half makes one song. You are correct. Where are we? All right, he wants to kill the girl. Okay. They're about to kill Aju. In the heat of the moment, Qiao Feng didn't have time to think and just threw the shield in his left hand out. It whirled violently as it exploded through the air. Watch out! 7 or 8 different people shouted at the same time. Chan Boshan immediately brought his saber around in an attempt to parry. Qiao Feng's toss was too forceful, and the edge of the shield was too sharp. Crash! Chan Boshan's body and saber were cut in half. Nice. Still going strong, the shield kept on flying. Chung! It cut through one of the huge columns that supported the hall, sending dust and roof tiles into the air and onto the ground. Have you no shame? Qiao Feng cursed at them and let loose 4 straight palm strikes, which shook those people enough to stop them. Quickly flying to her side, Qiao Feng picked Aju up with his left arm and shielded from the others her with the shield he had left. Master Qiao, I'm not going to make it, Aju pleaded. Don't worry about me, just leave. Seeing so many heroes stooping so low as to pick on Aju, a defenseless and dying girl, aroused Qiao Feng's indomitable sense of pride. Now that it has come to this, They will never let you live. Let's die together, he replied in a booming voice. Reaching out with his right hand, he snatched a sword from someone and began slicing and dicing his way towards the door. Carrying Aju, his movements were slowed on top of the fact that he had now one less hand to fight with, putting him in a very disadvantageous position. But he had long put his life on the back burner, as he made the sword dance around him. He had only taken 2 steps before a pain shot up from his back. Someone had slashed his back with a saber. Oh no. He lifted his leg and kicked back, sending that man flying for almost 100 meters before crashing into another person, killing both of them instantly. At that moment, a spear stabbed Qiao Feng on his right shoulder. It starts. It begins, which was soon followed by a sword thrusting into his right chest. Qiao Feng let out a thunderous howl and screamed, Qiao Feng would rather kill himself than to die in the hands of you lowlifes. But the other fighters were by now so completely absorbed in the fight that there was no way that they were going to allow him the luxury of ending his own life. A dozen or so people charged up together. Gathering his strength and spirit, Qiao Feng suddenly reached out with his right hand, grabbed Xuanzhu by the mid-chest pressure point, and lifted his body up in the air. Everyone gasped in shock and instinctively took a couple of steps back. His pressure point being hit, Xuanzhu was completely paralyzed and could not move despite his incredible kung fu skills. Looking down, he saw that his neck was only centimeters away from the edge of the shield. Qiao Feng only needs to lift his left arm a little, or give his right arm a push, and his head would have been chopped off. Resigning himself to his fate, Xuanzhu sighed and closed his eyes, awaiting death. The incredible pain on his back, his chest, and his right shoulder felt like someone had poured acid on the wounds. Qiao Feng gritted his teeth and said, All the martial arts in my body had originally come from Shaolin. How can I kill a high monk of Shaolin? Qiao Feng is doomed to die today anyway. What's the good in killing one more? Gently, he put Xuanzhu down onto the ground and let go. Well, come on, finish this, he said at the top of his lungs. The fighters looked at each other, all moved by his courage and spirit. Nobody could bring himself to take his life. Really? Still, some more thought. He wouldn't even harm Xuanzhu. How could he possibly take the life of his master, Father Xuanku? However, iron-faced Judge Chang Zheng, heartbroken and furious over the death of 2 of his sons, did not hesitate. With a loud yell, he charged up and thrust his saber directly at Qiao Feng's heart. Qiao Feng knew that with his severe wounds, he could not possibly fight his way out anymore, so he just stood there, motionlessly. In that instant, an infinite amount of thoughts flashed through his mind. Am I really a Han, or am I Qi Tan? Who killed my parents and master? I have always lived honorably and tried to do the right thing in my life. Why did I kill all these heroes and good men today for no reason? I don't know about good men. I wanted to save Aju, but ended up giving my own life away. Would all the heroes in the world laugh at me for such stupid actions? Seeing Chan Zheng's dark and contorted face, eyes bugging out and charging at him with a saber aimed at his heart, Qiao Feng's heart was suddenly overwhelmed by sadness and anger. Not able to hold it back anymore, he suddenly snapped out and howled up into the heavens like a proud and dying beast. Oh, cliffhanger. Wah wah. All right, fine. Tune in next time. All right. That was a good chapter. There was a fighting the entire time. So apparently he killed a bunch of people. So yeah, they're all gonna hate him now. He's a number 1 enemy now. Before you could argue that he might be able to like bring up enough evidence to show that he didn't kill his master or adoptive parents. But now that he killed a bunch of people, like yeah. There's no hope for him now, right? Oh well. That felt like a short chapter. Yeah. Let me get let me get a drink.